Tesla, right down here below, 260. 260. If we start to push into that, I will look to start to build a short position. Stop would be over 260. If we get above 260 out of that trade, accepting of the loss, right? Accepting that I am wrong if we get over 260. But if we start to see a little grind into that level, I am looking to sort of build a position slowly into that 260 retest for that rejection play. NVIDIA, the concept is the exact same. Looking to build a position into that 420 retest. If we start to push into it, build that short position into 420, stop over 420 on NVIDIA, stop over 260 on Tesla. I will monitor to see if those set up for me. So the video that you just watched is my pre-market game plan. The pre-market game plan that I provide to the group every single morning, key levels, trade setups, things that I'm watching coming into every single morning. This is also something that we talk about every morning here on YouTube in the pre-market live streams. Today, we were looking for that retest of very key levels on Tesla and NVIDIA. This was my game plan coming into the day. Now, if you see that game plan start to align, which we did today, we had that push into 260 on Tesla and that push into 420 on NVIDIA. When your game plan starts to align, it is up to you whether you trust your game plan and you execute, or you are still too scared to take trades and accept that you could be wrong. We can't control the uncertainties. And you guys know we've talked about this a lot on this channel recently, and I can't stress the importance of it. So today we had the game plan, we stuck to the game plan, and the game plan worked perfectly. And even if it didn't, I could still walk away and say this was a proper trade idea. It didn't work out. I got stopped out. And that is what we have to do as a trader. So today we're going to break down the Tesla 260 rejection, the NVIDIA 420 rejection, beautiful rejection plays. I'll break down why I was looking at this. And of course, as always, share with you guys the live trades and how this all went down. I am still holding my AMD put swing, which was the breadwinner of the day, as well as that Tesla and NVIDIA trade that I entered today. There's no reason to exit. My technical levels stayed true, and I continue to hold small size overnight. I've scaled out of my positions, and I've put myself in the situation that I do not need to worry about what happens in the coming days. If you guys enjoyed today's video, press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So guys, here on the 1 hour chart, this is where the analysis started, and you can probably see what I am looking at here. I am looking at a key 260 level that had previous rejections right here. You guys know this is very similar to what we talk about as always. Previous double top rejections at 260, which then turned into a support here, right? Which then turned into a support here. And this morning, we were trading below 260. So the break and retest would call for a potential, right? That break of that key level, look for where it can retest that level, and then see if it does reject that level. And if it does, you take that position short and you use that retest level as your stop loss, right? Extremely clear. The same thing all the time that you guys hear about on this channel, the break and retest of key levels. It happens so often, and if you can learn this strategy and if you can learn to trust yourself as a trader, you can find these trades. So that's the 260 level. That's where it comes from. We can see that on the hourly chart. Now, we're going to go down to the 2-minute chart where we trade on the intraday, and we're going to see this morning, Tesla squeezed right up into our retest level. You guys can see that right here. We squeezed right higher into that retest level, and we started to see those rejections come in, right? And at that point, when I started to see those rejections come in, and I saw my 260 game plan start to work, at that point, I am obligated to take that trade. I am obligated to take that trade because if I don't, then I am simply not trusting my analysis, I'm not trusting myself, and I'm letting emotions guide my decisions. If I see Tesla into 260, which is aligning with my game plan, and I know it's a key rejection point, and I don't take that trade, the reason I'm not taking the trade is what? It's because I'm emotional, I'm scared to lose, and I don't have confidence, right? Those are the only reasons as to why I wouldn't take that trade. So, of course, I talked to the group. I said, I have to take this trade here. This is aligning with my game plan. Let's look for that 260 fade. That is exactly what happened, and I have this entire trade recorded live. Let's go ahead, run that clip. You'll hear everything live, how we talked through that potential rejection point, when we entered, when we scaled out, Hope you guys enjoy that. Okay, that's an interesting wick right there, man. I'm getting interested. I'm going to start with quarter size if I take it here of the 255 next week's. Yeah, I'm starting it. I'm in 5 255 puts next week. I'm starting the position. Well, that's up 20%. I'm not selling it yet. I have a larger term idea here. But if you guys just want to scalp that, bam. Bam, day's done. See you later. I'm going to take 2 off on Tesla. Tesla a little bit stronger than I'd like. So we'll see here. NASDAQ is holding that 920. So let's be cautious. Right? I gotta make sure I don't have too much greed here and too much confidence in my downside ideas, right? I don't want to get too confident if I'm seeing markets showing me otherwise. Right? I need to make sure I still adjust to what market's showing me. Market is showing me pretty decent holds at that 920 demand and 4,400. So the next trade that we're going to review here is the NVIDIA 420 retest rejection. The concept is exactly the same as the trade we just took on Tesla. The same type of trade setup repeated 2 times in one day. It happens everywhere. We just have to find it, right? So here's NVIDIA and here's 420. We can see dating all the way back here to May. We had a 420 rejection right there. After we got above 420, we turned it into support right there. Once again, into support right here in July. Once we got back above, came back down, you can see support 420. Now, if we zoom in to the short-term time frames, we can go to the 15-minute chart right here, and you can see just Monday of this week, we had a strong demand hold of 420. So today, we were trading under 420. So you guys know the concept is the same. If we're trading under 420, let's look for the retest. Let's not be the people that short into a hole. Let's look for the retest. Let's be patient. Let's wait to see if that level gets retested. And if it does it reject? Do we see rejections there? And if we do, let's fade that move. So we're going to break this down to the 2-minute chart, again, where we trade on the intraday. And we're going to look at NVIDIA at 420 today. You guys can see we had a sharp, aggressive move into 420. We don't get scared. We don't get emotional. We don't chase calls into a retest rejection. What do? We wait for those bulls to get trapped. We wait for that rejection to come in. We can see those wicks start to form. And when we see those wicks start to form, we execute. We execute without emotion. We execute aligning to our game plan, right? And we can see we started to reject that 420, and it created a fantastic scalp opportunity, which if we zoom out, caused nothing but downside the entire day. And I continue to hold this position. I have this trade recorded live, as I always do. We're going to go ahead and look at the 420 rejection, how it all worked out. You'll see the candlesticks live. You'll see when I start to get into the position, when I start to realize that the rejection could be there, and when I realize that I have to trust my game plan and I am obligated to take this trade, understanding where my stop loss is, understanding where I could potentially be wrong. I hope you guys enjoy this live trade as well on NVIDIA. NVIDIA and Tesla, the same exact concepts, break and retest strategy. NVIDIA is definitely getting interesting on that fade. Yeah, it's getting interesting. It's not there yet, but it's interesting. Look at those 2 wicks on NVIDIA, man. Yeah, NVIDIA, look at that little wick there. All right, I'm going to start a small NVIDIA as well. I'm going to start a small next week NVIDIA. I'm going to take the 400 put. I'm going to take it pretty, out of the money, just really small. 5 contracts. You probably should take like the 415s if you want. I just don't want to spend that much. I don't want to risk too much here. I'm just taking little baby shots. See if these levels work. It's still early, so I still think there's risk of these levels breaking. But I'll start it. So I'm in a NVIDIA next week 400. I'm in a Tesla next week 255. Those are my 2 trades right off the levels we talked about, and I'm just using my levels to enter trades. That's it. If I'm wrong, I take a small loser. If I'm right, I followed my game plan and I trusted my levels. Yes, I have larger term ideas on both these setups. If the market wants to continue lower, then I like NVIDIA Tesla downside continuation. Stop on NVIDIA's 422. I'm going to give it up to that previous day close, 422. Watch price action, that's a fantastic candle right there. That's the exact candle you're looking for on NVIDIA. You have to accept the loss here. You have to be in here and accepting of your potential loss. It's the only way you catch this at this high if it ends up working out. So now, right, what's the mindset here, right? Because we entered at that NVIDIA rejection. Now we're in the driver's seat, right? So people that are entering on that drop there are now, those are the people that are scared, right? Because they're entering on a big red candle and they could get bounced right into their face, man. And if you enter right here on NVIDIA, you could get railed, right? And that thing could push right back up into 420 and rail you. You stop out and then it rejects 420 again, right? But we're in at 420. So if it does rail those people, we're still sitting pretty. Right, even if this thing bounces right back up, we're still profitable on the trade. And so this is why it's so important to be entering at those levels. Not entering on, you don't want to enter when it feels comfy cozy, right? A comfy cozy short's right there for, you know, the different mindset. They're like, oh, now I'm short. But entering short here, I think you're at bounce risk still. You're still at risk of it pushing back up. Green candle, you going instantly red. NVIDIA is just so hot. Oh man. I mean, yeah, it's just, that's really good. So I wanted to end this video with a little bit of a talk, whether you're here or not still. If you are, you get to enjoy this little psychological talk. It's all about trusting our positions. It's all about trusting our analysis and understanding that we could be wrong, right? That Tesla trade, that NVIDIA trade, those were part of the game plan from the early morning session. We were planning that trade. We were understanding this could be a potential entry point. When we started to see that potential trade set up, right, at that point, that is that 1, 2, 5 minute period where you either execute that trade or you miss it, right? That is sometimes the margin of time that we have to execute on our trades at that best potential point, right? And this comes with experience. This also comes with trusting yourself and having confidence in your trading, which is very key and very important. You guys can see that my size was relatively light today. The AMD trade was a great trade and my large win of the day, and I didn't need to get aggressive. I wanted to take these positions and be able to trust myself and be able to relax. I wanted to be able to hold them. I wanted to be able to take that position without emotion. So I scale down. I don't worry about the potential loss. I see if the trade plan works out. That's really what's important. Scaling down at times can help you trust your positions, and it surely did today on Tesla and NVIDIA. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Some really nice trades with the group today, all recorded live, all caught live with the chat. If you want to trade live with us every day, the link is down in the description below. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.